Questions, no answers. Answers, no questions. The who's, what's, when's, and where's, plus the how's and the why's is there. Questions, no answers. Answers, no questions.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of Konvo with Kenny. But this is not just another episode. This is the last episode of season 1. Yes, the last episode of season 1, episode 7. And the question of this episode is, who created capitalism? Yes, we are going to dive into who created capitalism. And you know, here at Konvo with Kenny, it's the who's, what's, when's, and where's, plus the how's and the why's is there. Questions, no answers. Answers, no questions. So let's get your phones out. If you old school with the pen and paper, get your recorder out or screen record, whatever you gonna do. But this is the last episode of season 1. We gearing up for season 2, so stay tuned. But let's dive in.
You are currently enrolled in the winter semester at Grindin State University. Continue to enjoy the Konvo with Kenny curriculum and subscribe to the K.T.M Films YouTube channel, and also follow on Instagram at grindin.state.u for book and merchandise orders. Also, if you are looking to be a guest on Konvo with Kenny or have a question you would like talked about on the show, email wpcorporate1@gmail.com. Now here is Kenny Breadwork, your host with episode 7, Who Created Capitalism? Remember, it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish.
Okay, grinders, let's start episode 7, Who Created Capitalism, which that's the system that we here live under in the West. Most of the listeners, I believe, would be in Western nations that are capitalistic, have capitalism as their economic system of their economy, and the economic system that their citizens are living under. Whether consciously or unconsciously, that is the economic system that the West deems to be the best, so to speak. And let's break down these economic systems before we get into capitalism. Let's see what the alternative economic systems are. But for the sake of episode 7, what is capitalism? Who created it? Or rather, who created capitalism and what is it? But it's questions, no answers, answers, no questions. So here we go. Capitalism is private ownership. It possesses profit motive, and it is market competition. So the economic system that we live under here in the West is capitalism. So it's private ownership, profit motive, market competition. So the key words that should jump out is private, profit, competition. So your money is private. It's all about profit and it's about competition. Hence, the state we are in currently in this nation. And since capitalism has been created. So that is what capitalism is in a nutshell, basically in layman terms. And you can look around you, you can look at your everyday life, and you can see how living in a capitalistic society and using capitalism as the economic system of a nation, you can see how it affects its people. Just look at the administration of our government and look at the mental state, or mental health, we should say, of the citizens that live in the West. But I would question the mental health of the people who are in leadership of Western nations. So I think that probably should be where we should start. But moving forward, what would be an alternative to capitalism? You have socialism. Socialism is collective or state ownership of major industries. Once again, socialism is collective or state ownership of major industries. So imagine if the state or the country, but here in the West, we're taught that this is a country, but it's the United States. So even Israel is a state, Nigeria is a state, Palestinian wants to be. Can make that choice. But either way, those are the alternatives to capitalism. And once again, just to top off these different economic systems, we are currently under a capitalistic system, which is capitalism, which is private ownership, profit motive, and market competition. So, as we continue this episode, we are trying to get that private ownership and we are motivated to make a profit and we going to keep competing with each other because the market is crowded. So, that is what we must continue to do until we choose to make change within a capitalistic society. All right, let's get to the next portion of episode 7, Who Created Capitalism? Konvo with Kenny. Stay tuned.
Congratulations, you have completed portion 1 of episode 7, Who Created Capitalism? Economic Systems. You deserve a break. Feel free to go to our music department and peruse our Wages Payola playlist for your listening pleasure. Or we can go right into the next portion.
All right, my grinders and knowledge seekers and those who seek edifying content, here we go. Episode 7. The next portion is Who Created Capitalism? In its basic, simplest forms, capitalism wasn't invented by a single nation, culture, kingdom, or an empire. Instead, it did evolve gradually over centuries through a combination of economic practices, cultural shifts, and political changes. But we could trace where key elements came from, but no one place like created it and said, "Yeah, we the kings of capitalism." So this episode 7 is going to have several parts, and the next part will be the origins of capitalism, who contributed what, which will be which ancient civilizations and foundations contributed to the capitalism. Then the next will be the Islamic Golden Age, which would be from 700 AD to 1400 AD. And then we also will have the medieval Europe, which would be the seeds of capitalism. So that's kind of where it would start, would be in medieval Europe. And then next would be Western Europe, which would be the birth of modern capitalism. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, grinders and grindettes, knowledge seekers and edifiers, Western Europe through the transitions would be what one would consider, and most scholars would consider, the birth of modern capitalism as we know it. So we will have to reconvene at a later date, because I know y'all attention span ain't that long. Y'all can't sit with old Kenny Breadwork that long and break it down. So we're gonna come back. Feel free to go backwards and go get the answers to the questions of the previous 6 episodes of Konvo with Kenny. The playlist is set up for you. Feel free to share it, engage the conversations, leave comments. You can DM me at grinding.state.u if you want to get a question on Konvo with Kenny. I look forward to it. If you want to be a guest on Konvo with Kenny, you can also email me at wpcorporate1@gmail.com or DM me at grinding.state.u. And old Kenny Breadwork will get back with you. This is Kenny Breadwork of the Breadwork Network. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, because it won't make your head hurt. We work for our bread so that our bread work for us. And that's something that me and you ain't got to discuss. Synagogue.
The who's, what's, when's, and where's, plus the hows and the whys is there. Questions, no answers. Answers, no questions. The who's, what's, when's, and where's. Plus the hows and the why's is there. Questions, no answers. Answers, no questions.